To delete the Of course I was going to do a follow-up for that video, but there's a point. You see, y'all, you've changed my mind on one thing. But before I say that, I must say, when I was going to be like, oh, this Lily Orchard video is getting some views, I should do a follow-up. So I went searching for drama surrounding her. There's actually an insane amount, literal hours of content. I just pulled a few of the screenshots that came up if you just do the search results for Lily Orchard, but if you go searching for it, there's a lot, and I'm gonna get into that just a little bit. I don't want to do a full deep dive because my homies, they're much better at covering allegations and stuff like this, and Ween has gone over zoophilia before, and that's something that we'll be discussing briefly in this video. But now, as far as the thing that y'all have changed my mind, so in my video, I did say that Steven Universe has elements of both serialization, but I said it's mostly episodic, so I wasn't bothered by the serialized aspect. But apparently a number of you are still bothered by it, and I can see now that maybe it is an issue. And another example of a show that tried to have it both ways, that it did really poorly, was Solar Opposites. They have this tiny human side quest thing, and when I tried to rewatch Solar Opposites, that's great. So when I tried to rewatch Solar Opposites, I was like, hey, I'm gonna watch this episode. I don't remember what it was, but basically as soon as the little people like popped up on screen in the middle of their serialized adventure, I was like, I don't want to sit through this, and I just stopped watching it. So it doesn't have that bonus. And for character development, even though I said that I don't think it matters as much because it's not like there's major plot relevancies to like characters individual, like, oh, I feel this way now, and now I feel this way later. I didn't think that was an issue, and I guess I'm still not very bothered by it, but I can see now, because of y'all's comments, why y'all think that that's probably an issue. I can see that fact. Now on to the other comments. I didn't realize so many people despise Lily Orchard so strongly going into this video. I was just making it for fun. I thought I had a really nice, like, fair opening disclaimer before I was like, okay, now we're just gonna have fun and make fun of the video and go through all of her points. But wow, some of y'all have some very strong opinions, and upon digging through the drama, totally justified opinions as well. As far as all the allegations that I've seen of other YouTubers being in the commentary community, I get to see pretty much everything that everybody's accused of. Yeah, I'm just flabbergasted by how much people have accused her of. I've watched a couple of videos, some stuff has a lot of good evidence, other things are just like accusation or like so-and-so was mean to me, but I feel like all the screenshots and receipts need to be shown in order to have a dedicated video on that. So I don't know if I'm going to continue down that road as like a follow-up, like, oh, Lily Orchard is an abuser, pedophile, zoophiliac, or whatever. That's something I could do if I got out of my way to find all the stuff, because all of those allegations are spread across several videos, and I don't think there's one that just neatly condenses all of it. Of course, that means there's room for me to make that neatly condensed video, but it is going to take quite a while to do that, and given all the things that she has done are spread across years, it's not necessarily time sensitive to create it now, as I have a lot of other projects that are also very time consuming that I need to get out of the way first, clear off my plate a little bit, and then revisit these topics in the future. Of course, if I do that, the retards that commented on my Lily Orchard video will pay me another visit, and well, it's nothing. I mean, it's engagement, so YouTube's gonna be like, oh, you commented on this person's video, let's recommend you another. So for all you retards that were like, let me share my stupid opinion where I didn't watch the video, yeah, thank you for that. That's actually doing me more good than if you just disliked and stopped watching. So thanks, bruh. I was actually trying to reply to literally all the comments originally, but we would have back and forths with some people, and then I was like, wait a minute, I've half of the comments here are mine, and if I don't slow down, I'm going to like accidentally ratio myself, so I just like stopped replying to people's comments and just let the views climb up, and I was like, okay, I'm good. And I honestly thought it would be my most disliked videos, but it's at like 70% likes, which I think is funny. And my video criticizing Nico Coda actually has much higher dislikes. That only has like 61% likes on it. So I don't know. I didn't expect. I thought that one was gonna have much less, to be honest. I did watch a few other videos of people who are also making responses to Lily Orchard's videos, and they're either like really short, condensed reasons as to why they thought the show was good, and are like, okay, I'll concede this and this other thing. I felt a lot of those ones that were more constructed by larger YouTubers were like just trying to give credit where none is due, just because they care too much about their public image. So they're like, I'm not gonna rock the boat with this issue, so I'm just going to give some like, hey, I'll just agree with you on this point because I want to look like a nice guy or some shit. That's honestly how I felt about a lot of the videos that were responding to Lily Orchard. But then there was live streams where they would pick on like one small thing that like I didn't think was an issue. So there's obviously varying degrees of what people have to say about this video Lily Orchard made across several different videos. Okay, everybody has their own opinion. I just shared mine, but I mean, most of the things that Lily was talking about is just like fake stuff that she made up that didn't even happen in the show, and she's like, this is why the writing is bad. It's like, no, half of your evidence is fake. It doesn't exist. It's not a part of the thing, and that's what I was going at with most of the video. Also, since I cut the video down, I used a total of like 40 minutes worth of clips from Lily Orchard. That's roughly a third of her whole video, because I was just cutting it down to whenever she'd said something unique or something different. If she just repeated herself, I was just starting to cut that out, but I still even included some bits where she was just repeating herself. So even then, her video could have still been way shorter and way more concise, but you know, it's like, okay, so if she's gonna make a really long video to try to get a crap ton of watch time in the algorithm to boost her crap, then I'm gonna do the exact same thing, which is why at the very end of my 5-hour video, I spent like 20 minutes going over each of her objective points on why she thinks the Joe is bad, and I cover each of those. There's 50, I'm pretty sure it's 50 different points that I made a condensed version of. I could release that as a separate video if people really want to see it, but at the same time, it serves as an encapsulation, a summary of everything I debunked in the video. So if people want to stop and be like, oh, you said this at this timestamp in the first 4 hours, it's like, cool, yeah, most of that is just trolling and having fun and being schizo. But if you want the real criticisms, go to that last little bit, because that's where I hold pretty much all my arguments. You could make an argument that I should have included that closer in the beginning, but you know, you want to save the climax for last. You want to hold tension throughout a video. If you just drop all the good juicy parts in the beginning, then there's no reason for people to keep watching, and that's why Lily Orchard, as she didn't really explain her viewpoints at the beginning of her video, she's like, these are my problems with it. Keep watching in order to find out what those problems are. So I was like, cool, I'm just gonna briefly go over the things that I'm gonna say in the video, and then say those things, and then have a good summary. And Lily Orchard did summarize everything that she said at the end of the video, which was very nice, and she toned it down a bit, broke that YouTuber persona that people are known for, and I respect that. I respect that a lot. I was very clear in the beginning that this video was just like a massive memeing about Lily Orchard for 5 hours straight, telling jokes, having fun. I did go back and like add some more jokes in after the fact, but you know, some people, they're like, oh, it's better for my argument if I ignore the fact that you're joking and act as if you're being serious 100% of the time, so I can label you like a bigot and shit. And you know, Lily Orchard's retards in my comment section do that shit, and you know, what am I gonna do? Talk to them? No, of course not. Why would I talk to somebody who's so horrendously dumb? There were a number of people who did offer like a fair like understanding of my video. They watched it and they're like, okay, this is where I agree with you, this is where I disagree with you, and they would say like, yeah, these other videos that Lily Orchard has made. So all the people that were very respectful, thank you, and I do appreciate all the feedback. And like I said, you've changed my mind. I now see the serialized aspect as having damaged the show, and like in the whole grand scheme of Lily's video, that kind of element is one of her biggest gripes with it. And I think my little segment about the solar opposites really sums up what people disliked about Steven Universe. As terrible of a person as Lily Orchard is, she trolled the Steven Universe fandom expertly. And also, after releasing that video, I did find out that a lot of people do believe that the Steven Universe fandom is in fact toxic, and that one of the most go-to examples is people meme about the My Hero Academia fan base also being really toxic and stuff. So I guess there's a parallel there, and I can kind of understand why people would dislike the community or be apprehensive towards it, thus breeding the more guttural, violent video making mannerisms like Lily did. And like, I guess mine is inherently edgy towards Lily, so I'm not doing anything very different in that regard, but just a retrospective that I thought was very ironic in regards to my video. Honestly thought I was being way too charitable and friendly towards Lily across most of the video, because I made the script for that, and then I made the video about Jordan Peterson and transphobia. I was way more hostile towards Jordan Peterson. I was way more hostile towards Jordan Peterson in that video than I was towards Lily Orchard, and I don't inherently dislike Jordan Peterson the way that I now dislike Lily Orchard, so I considered going back and being more abrasive about it, but I don't know, I feel like some people comment that like that would be deserved. Some people would think like, okay, I agree with your points, but you're being a little bit too harsh, and that's a major gripe that people have against Lily. So retrospectively, I'm glad I didn't go back and do that, actually. I respect her video specifically, and I honestly didn't have any ill will towards her as a person. I wasn't bothered at all, but upon finding out all the allegations, I am now very much erring on the side of she is a terrible person, as the accusations flung at her are worse than what most people get canceled for. I guess that's a lot easier when you hide your subscriber count so you don't look like a big YouTuber, because people don't take you seriously when you hide statistics from them. That's why, like, I go to Patreon and I support some creators, but some creators are like, I'm not going to make it visible how much money I make here. So I'm just like, yeah, I refuse to support that, because if we can all go look up like different salaries for what different people make, or look up different businesses' income, but for YouTubers who make millions of dollars to be able to hide that is really sketch, which is why I generally don't like to support big creators. And we obviously can't see exactly how large Lily Orchard is based upon her total views. I would guess that she's somewhere around 100,000 subscribers, because most people, their subscriber count is about 1% of their total views across their channel. So obviously she's not big enough for a ton of people to go take her down, but she is infamous enough that a few smaller creators such as myself or some other commentary bros can probably go after her to have a very successful video. I'm not sure what else to say, so I'm going to end the video right here. Thanks for watching. Thanks for commenting. Smash like. Let me know if there's a video by anybody else that you want to see me do like a takedown of or a breakdown of, and I'll see you in the next one.